What's up guys, Sagi here and welcome to another Tech Gear Talk. Today we're going to check out the Peak Design Everyday Backpack, which is a fantastic camera and everyday carry bag. Now lately I've been reviewing a lot of cameras and I wanted something that I can easily and quickly configure to accommodate different setups, and then also something that would let me carry a drone with me. And I recently took this bag with me on a 2-week trip to Italy and I really put it through some abuse. So let's get to the review. Now overall, this is an outstanding backpack. It's really well made. It has a ton of pockets and storage options. It's configurable and can accommodate so many different types of photography and video equipment, and it works great as an everyday carry. And I love how thoughtful this backpack is, and you can really tell that Peak Design understands how their target audience is going to use this bag. I only had one real complaint about this bag after using it for 2 weeks, and we'll get to it later on in the review. My goal with every product review is to give you an overview of the features of the product, but in a way that relates to real life use. And if you find it helpful, please let me know by giving it a like and then hitting the subscribe and notification buttons for more backpack and tech reviews. I'm gonna start out by talking about how this bag looks, and it looks awesome. I love the way this bag looks. And one of my favorite things about it is that it doesn't really look like a camera bag. It just looks like a really cool backpack. It has really sleek and clean lines, and you can tell that Peak Design took their time to get this right. And there are small details and accents that really give this bag a super refined and unique look. And you know how sometimes you get something and then every time you use it or wear it, you're like, oh, I really like the way that looks. That's how I feel about this bag. I ended up getting the charcoal color because I wanted something that was a little bit darker and wouldn't get dirty. But there's also an ash color that comes with leather, and it looks pretty dope, so you should definitely check that out. And then I think it also comes in black and tan. And with this charcoal color scheme, there are a few things here and there that add a little splash of color or shine, and this is just really good work by Peak Design. Now this bag was obviously designed with access in mind, and what Peak Design did here is they gave you top access with the use of this mag latch closure system, which we'll get to later on. And you also have 2 large zip pockets, one on each side. And then finally, there's a zipper here in the top that gives you access to the back compartment. All right, so let's start out by taking a look at these side zip panels, which were one of the major reasons for me getting this bag. I'm usually testing multiple cameras, and it's really important for me to be able to very quickly get to my equipment and then put it back and switch it out to a different body or a different lens. So I really love that I can get into this backpack from both sides, and I never have to dig through the entire bag to get something that's on the other side, because I would just open it right from the other side and it will be super accessible. And I want to show you that there are these dividers in here, and we'll get into them a little bit later, but there are so many ways that you can configure and set these up that really I found that no matter what I was carrying with me, I was able to make this bag work. Another one of my major concerns was to be able to get to my backpack without having to put it down. And this again was another major feature for why I ended up getting this backpack. Because if you're wearing it, let's go ahead and just throw this on. And if I want to access something that's on this side, I can put my arm out, then I just pull this tab, and you can see that the backpack swings around. And now I have it right in front of me. I can open this up, and I still have both my hands free to do whatever I need in the bag. So it's not like I'm having to use one of my hands to hold the bag up, and then I only have one hand free. I can use both my hands, so if I need to move something, or if I'm still working with a camera or changing lenses, I can do that. And this actually creates a really nice platform. And I can do this on both sides, which again is just super convenient. Okay, now in addition to these side panels, we also have this top access panel. And as I mentioned, it uses a patented mag latch closure system. And this is a really clever design. Like, I really like this thing. All right, so first look at how easy it is to open with just the use of one hand. Right, it didn't look like anything special happened there. It didn't look like this is particularly secure, but it really is. I threw this bag in overhead compartments, under the seats, in the car, in the back of the car. It got kicked around pretty much wherever we went, and it never opened on its own. And check it out, I can pull this top compartment as hard as I want, like trying to break this bag, and it's not gonna open. And at the same time, I can pull down on this latch, and again, it won't open. And then lastly, I can hold this up and hold the bag like this, and again, it doesn't open. But again, with just one hand, it opens so easily. This is such a clever design. I love this. Okay, so let's move on to capacity. And I chose to go with the 20-liter model. There's also a 30-liter model, which is the exact same design. Again, just the bag's just a little bit bigger than this one. But I felt like with what I usually carry with me, that this was gonna be plenty of space. And of course, you're gonna have to make a choice yourself about whether you wanna go with the 20 or the 30 liter, depending on what you're gonna carry. But later on, I'm gonna show you just how much I can fit into the 20 liter model. And then hopefully that can give you an idea of what's gonna work right for you. Because of the mag latch system, this bag can change from a 12 liter bag all the way up to a 20 liter bag. And that really just depends on which of these levels you end up clipping to. So obviously, all the way at the bottom, you're at 12, all the way at the top, you're at 20. And what I really like about that is that it almost serves the purpose of multiple bags, because I hate having a backpack that's too big for what I'm taking. It just gets all floppy and just doesn't look right. And with this bag, if I only need 12 liters, all right, well then I just clamp it all the way down. And as I need more space, I can just make that adjustment. So I think that makes it a very versatile bag. Now, one of the things that I did notice is that if you're using one of these upper latches, is that the sides of the bag can flare out a little bit. And that could create a situation where potentially you can get some water in your bag. So just make sure that if you're at one of these, you just tuck these in here. And again, it's a little different because I don't have anything in there. Honestly, that was usually happening when I was messing around with the bag and just testing stuff out. So if you really feel like you need to stuff it with that much stuff, I would just go ahead and get the 30 liter model. For me, most of the time, I didn't have it that full. And when I have to weigh these two things side by side, the ability to expand this bag against the likelihood that maybe I won't pay attention at the exact same time where it's overstuffed and I'm going through some huge rainstorm, I'm gonna choose the ability to be able to overstuff it because, you know, realistically, if it's raining that badly, I'm probably inside, or I just remember to do this. All right, so let's move on to organization. And there is so much stuff here. I love how organized I can keep all my gear in this. All right, so you may have noticed that there are some dividers when we're looking into the bag, and Peak Design calls them flex fold dividers. And the bag comes with 3 of these, and they let you split up the main compartment into so many different configurations, like depending on what you want to take with you. And then they also prevent your gear from banging against each other and scratching or causing any type of damage. And then finally, they prevent all your gear from just going all the way to the bottom of your bag. Now, I remember the first time I looked at these and I was thinking, well, that's not that great. That just means I'm taking this big compartment and just splitting it up into smaller compartments, which obviously is better, but it's really not ideal for how I want my gear to be in here. So the first thing I want to show you is that these just Velcro, and I can take them and adjust them to whatever size I want. But then on top of that, if I wanted to create a small compartment right here, I can just take this and flip it out, and now I created a little compartment. Let me just open this a little bit more. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna zip this all the way to the other side just to give you guys a better view of what's going on here. And now you can see I have this small compartment that's perfect for a lens or a small camera. So if I want to take something like the G1X Mark III, which just happened to be the last camera that I reviewed, fits perfectly over here. At the same time, if I want to take something like this 10 to 18, it's gonna fit perfectly in there as well. And the other thing that's still great is that I still have the rest of this shelf to work with from this side. So hopefully you can see that. I have 1/3 on this side, and then I have 2/3 left over here on this side to work with. And of course, I could divide that so that I have a middle section that I'm using and split it up into thirds. So it's really versatile. All right, so let me take a moment and use all 3 of these. If you remember, I told you that you get 3, so I'm just gonna install all of them without taking too much time to worry about how close they are or anything like that. I'll probably give myself a little bit extra space here. Okay, so another thing that you can do is, because let's say I have a lens that doesn't fit in here, I need a little bit more space. I can take, instead of just flipping that, I can take both of these down, and this is what they call it, pass-through. So I can fit a larger lens over here. And if I have something like a 70 to 200, I can do that with all 3 of them and then have a lot of space for a much larger lens. And I really felt like there wasn't anything that I couldn't fit in this bag with different configurations of the flex fold dividers. Now I do want to point out that these don't make perfect compartments. So it is possible for something small like a lens cap or a small battery, if you have it loose in here, to make its way down the bag. It's not something that really happened, but it's something that I could see happening. I just didn't have stuff loose in there because wait till we get into these side zip pockets. And like I showed you in the beginning, if you don't want all 3 of these dividers, you can just take one out and not use it. You can have it be flat against the back or flat on the bottom, and then you have them in case you want to make adjustments on the fly. All right, so let's move on to these awesome side zip panels. And both sides have this great interior stretch mesh pockets that are enclosed behind the zipper. And I really like this because it keeps whatever I put in there away from the gear that I have inside of the bag. And I know it's hard to tell in the video, but this separator material it's not flimsy. So it's actually pretty solid, and it does a really good job of keeping these items separate and keeping them from damaging any of the equipment they will have in the bag itself. And you can see that there are different sizes to these mesh pockets. And actually this left side has more but smaller pockets. So these were great for things like memory cards or cables, extra batteries. And on this side, I would have like a power pack, again, more batteries, and just pretty much anything else that I needed to carry with me. Now, another thing that's cool is that this zipper itself acts as its own compartment. So on top of what I had in here, if I had something that was too big to fit in one of these mesh pockets, I can just have it loose in here and then zip it, and it's still kept in here, and it's not in my bag, and it's not damaging anything that I have in the bag. So this, I can't tell you how much stuff I was able to stuff in here. You'll see that in addition to providing protection, this material is stretchy. So again, if you put something big in here, it's just gonna stretch out. Now, of course, it goes into the bag, so you have to accommodate for that, but you're not really limited. It's not really as small as you might think it is. The last thing I wanna say about these side zip panels, which I really like, is that they have 2 zippers. So let me just go ahead and close this one. And the reason why I like that they have 2 zippers is if I was gonna access something that's at the bottom of the bag, I can just unzip it partially like this and get it out. And then same thing if I wanted something from the top of the bag. And I like having the flexibility of not having to always unzip the entire panel in order to get anything out. So again, that's good work by Peak Design. All right, so next let's look at the laptop and quick access compartment right here. So there's a zipper at the top of the bag that gives you access to the laptop, the tablet. So the laptop goes back here, the tablet is next to it. There's still a really nice separator. And then what I call a quick access pocket that I used all the time. And as far as a laptop goes, you can fit up to a 15-inch MacBook Pro. I mean, this thing is deep. It goes all the way to the bottom, or about maybe a half an inch from the bottom. The tablet compartment is also super deep. I could easily fit my iPad in there. Now, another one of my favorite features is this quick access pocket at the top. And this is the pocket that I use for everything that I needed most often during my trip. So things like my sunglasses went in here, my AirPods, my keys, the iPhone 7 Plus, and then initially my wallet was in here too. And I love how big this pocket is and how easy it was to access and get my stuff out of. All right, and remember that I just said that that was where I initially put my wallet. And the reason for that was because after starting to use this backpack, I found this hidden compartment. So if we open this top compartment, we can see that right against this front panel, there's a little pocket right here, and it's magnetized, which, oh, come on, how clever is that? Oh, magnetized, and then I ended up putting my wallet right here. So now if you ever see me and you want to steal my wallet, you know exactly where I keep it. But I like that this is even more secure. Again, it's magnetized, so it's not gonna fall out, and then it's also latched shut. So that's where I ended up keeping my wallet. All right, so let's move on to the construction and build quality of this backpack. And honestly, it rocks. And then as far as comfort, it has some really nice ergonomic features. And this is gonna be one of these things that's pretty difficult to convey in a video, but I'll do my best. All right, so let's start out by talking about the outer shell. It's made of a 400D Codra nylon canvas shell with DWR coating for weatherproofing. And it feels really nice to the touch. It's kind of different than what I thought it would feel like. And I know this isn't something that's against my skin, but like when I buy something, I'm always like rubbing it. I like something that where I like the way it feels. And so this really feels sturdy, feels like it's gonna last. Again, this bag really looks like it's very, very well made. It's definitely strong and looks durable, and I feel super confident carrying thousands and thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment. And again, I'm confident that it's not gonna get damaged if it just gets banged around. Now what's cool is the weatherproofing continues to the zippers, which are water resistant, and the zipper pulls are nice and big, and the zippers operate really smoothly, and even when the bag is super packed. And this bag has a ton of padding. Even in this top flap, I love how they used this same material even on the inside. They didn't skimp. You know, they could have used a different material on the inside, but they didn't. There is a nice amount of padding in here. Again, all the way around, every single panel on this entire bag is padded pretty well. So like I mentioned, I put expensive equipment in here. So these types of things that, you know, if it was just a regular backpack and I was throwing some clothes in there, I might not care. But, you know, the extra special attention to padding on the bottom, padding on these side panels, and it just means that my equipment is protected. And again, I can't tell you how important that is with my photography equipment, with drones that I'm carrying, whatever I have in here. Again, I'm confident that it's not sitting right against the outer edge where it can easily get banged and break. So as we move back into the laptop compartment, there is a ton of padding on the back. And then there is also this little flap here for the tablet is padded. And then there's padding in between this whole laptop compartment and the back of the bag. So if I unzip it, I'm talking about this right here is still super, super padded. And you can see that this bag holds its shape even though it's completely empty. So there's nothing in it, but because of all the padding, it can keep its shape just like it will when it's full. I'm really happy with the build quality of this bag. I've only had it for about a month, but with the abuse I put it through, it still looks brand new. Sure looks like it's gonna hold on for a long time. And regardless, Peak Design offers a lifetime warranty. Okay, so let's move on to these shoulder straps, which you'll see are attached with these axial strap attachment points. And this is a pretty innovative design, and it accomplishes two things. So first, it allows the strap to sort of find the position that best fits your body type. So like maybe you have a smaller frame and the straps need to be closer together, or maybe you have a bigger frame and it's more comfortable for you if the straps are out here. What's nice is this sort of happens on its own. You just put the bag on and these are gonna rest where they fit your body. So it's not something that you ever have to really worry about. You just put the backpack on and it just kind of sits, you know, according to the shape of your body. So that part of it is really comfortable. And the second thing they help with is that when I want to work with the side zip pockets, I can extend that. And because the shoulder strap rotates, this is possible. It's very comfortable because it's not pulling the bag to the side because it's able to rotate up. And then my only major complaint about this entire bag is that the shoulder straps weren't super comfortable. So this is really nice material for the shoulder strap, both on the outside and then this material that's on the inside. It's very breathable, but I just wish that there was, I don't know that I want more padding, maybe just softer padding. So that's really my only real complaint about this bag. And it was really only an issue when I had it just packed with heavy stuff. And you can see that this same material that's on the inside of the straps is also on the back of this backpack, down these two ridges and then down here on your lower back. And you can tell the Peak design really put some thought into the design of this structure right here in order to maximize airflow. So the first thing is that it might be hard to see, but these sort of come out. So that leaves a channel for the air to flow right here, right down your spine. And then it also keeps the pack away from your body right here. So it leaves some room. So this part is not against your back, just this part and this part. And then even within these channels, you can see that they're ridged. So it's not a flat surface, which means that air can still travel alongside each of these channels in and out of this area. And that continues down into your lower back. This is still channeled. And again, I wore this for 2 weeks in June in Italy. It was hot and I felt, you know, comfortable wearing this bag without my back ever feeling like it was super sweaty or anything like that. All right, and so aside from these two shoulder strap, there are 3 other ways to grab this pack. There is obviously this handle right here at the top, and then there is one on each side. So you're never actually looking for something to grab. You can just always find a handle and grab your bag wherever it is. I mentioned I have the charcoal color, so these are Hypalon, and the ash backpack comes with natural nubuck leather touch points instead. And then finally, all the hardware is anodized aluminum with this sweet sandblasted finish, which is again super solid and looks great. All right, I want to talk about some other cool features that this bag offers, and it will really show you the thinking and the innovation that went into the design of this bag. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is this shoulder strap. And you'll see that right now I don't have it on, so if I don't want to use it, I don't need to have it on. But if I do, I can just take it, and then if I want to attach it to this bag but not use it yet, I can use these little access points here. And just attach that, and then pull that up, and again, nice little elastic band just keeps this nice and neat. And now I can have it stored away if I don't plan on taking it on and off. Now, when I am ready to use it, I can just remove that. I attach this side over here, and then the side with the little pull tab on this side, attach it, pull this tight. Again, nice little elastic strap, and it's super comfortable. And then finally, if it's something that I'm gonna take on and off all the time, I just leave it like this, and when I don't want it on with one hand, I can just take it off, attach it right here. It's ready for me whenever I want to just pull off, attach over here, pull tight. If I want to pull it any tighter than that, I don't, because it's right where I want it to be, and it's good. And you can attach, there are multiple attachment points, so depending on how high you want it, you can have it wherever you want. This is comfortable for me. So next, let's move on to the side pockets, and we just get rid of that. And you'll see that these side pockets right here, they lay nice and flat against the bag. And again, there's a little magnet right here. Again, so cool, all these little magnets. Keep this really nice and tight when not in use, but don't let that fool you because these are actually really, really big. There's this sliding elastic band right here that pulls out, and then again, this you can see is a very, very big side pocket. So like for example, when we are hiking, I would put a water bottle in here, and I'll show you it's a pretty large water bottle just to again show you exactly how much you can fit in here. And then on the other side, I would carry a tripod. So if I was using a small tripod like this one, I would just flatten it out, pull this pocket out, and get that in there. And here's another really nice feature about the side pocket, which is these little attachment straps. So if I just wanted to make sure this is super secure, there is an attachment point right there. I can just pull that in, throw that in there, and this tripod is not going anywhere. And there are other times where I was using a larger tripod, and you can see I can take this tripod and still fit it into this side pocket. You get that out of there. There you go. And it's not going anywhere, but again, just to be safe, I can take that, go around, mount it, pull this tight, and just put that in there. And again, now 100%, it's not going anywhere. And then finally, if you wanted to take a tripod that was even bigger than this one and you couldn't fit it in the pocket, you can just loosen this up. Again, let's say it was so big that it didn't fit in there. You can just take out one leg, slide that into the pocket, put this flat, and then either go through or around. Again, mount it right there, pull this, and you're good to go. And there's one other way to carry a tripod. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Now, one of these side pockets does use Peak Design's anchor link system. So if you want to take your keys and attach them to this little gizmo right here, and it just slides and locks in there. It's not going anywhere. I didn't end up using it because like I said, I just put my keys right up here. But if that's something that you want, you can use it. Otherwise, you can just remove it. You can attach it somewhere else, or just if you don't want to use it, don't use it. All right, so next let's take a look at the waist belt system. And it's basically made from seat belt material. It's not padded at all, so this isn't the most comfortable waist belt that I've ever used, but it did the job. And what's also nice here is that if you aren't planning on using it, you can just remove it altogether. But essentially, one side is a loop, the other side, just kind of slides here. You tighten with this. I didn't really end up using it, but you could. All right, so now let's take a look at the external carry system. And what's nice is right here, there's another little magnet right there. And it's got two straps in there, one on each side. They're removable. And these are super useful. So for example, when we were carrying jackets with us and it was raining, then it stopped raining, and it started raining again, I basically just crisscrossed these. So had them attached right here and right here. And then I just had the jackets right in here. I could just pull these and tighten, and I could carry anything that I wanted. Sometimes we had an extra blanket when we went to the beach, but this was super useful. And if you remember that I said that there's another way to carry a tripod, you could actually put your tripod under the bag and then take these and either mount them straight across, or you can crisscross them if you want. So again, a lot of options with these. There's just so much that you can do with them. This is great when you just have extra stuff that doesn't fit in your bag. All right, and the last feature I want to talk about is the luggage strap that's on the back of the bag. So I'm just gonna get these out of the way. And basically you can see there's a little bit of Velcro. That was probably super loud. And you can just pull this away. And if you have one of those rolling bags that you take in the airport, you can just slide this right on top of it. We had so many things to carry and the girls didn't want to carry their bags. I could just go ahead, put this on my little roller bag, and then grab a different backpack and carry it on. So again, just really nice feature to have. Okay, so the bottom line is that the Peak Design Everyday Backpack is one of the best camera backpacks that I've ever used. And as a bonus, it doubles as an everyday carry or a one bag travel pack. And I love the sleek and modern form factor. I love the flexible storage space, the ease of access, and then the tough construction. And I also really like additional features like the unique sternum strap, the expandable side pockets, and the external carry system. So if you're looking for a highly functional, versatile, and durable backpack that can pretty much handle anything that you throw at it, I think you should give the Everyday Backpack from Peak Design a look. The 20-liter model sells for $260, and then the 30-liter model sells for an extra $30. And I'll put some links in the description to where you can buy this backpack. And if you end up using those links, then Peak Design will send me a couple bucks, and then you can help support my channel for free. I really hope I was able to give you a good overview of the Peak Design Everyday Backpack. If I did, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, tweet it, share it, and if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe and notification buttons. You can always find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Tech Gear Talk. Good luck, and see you soon.